Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, I first want to say thank you to all of my new subbies. Hey, thanks, guys. And welcome to the beautiful people family. The second thing I want to say is I was told by quite a few people that I am not unpleasant. So, fuck it, we ball. Listen, I'm back. I'm just going to have to let it all hang out. Let's start off with, before I forget his name, Sensei Ja. A little guy who I don't think too many people heard of. He apparently came up there through Mark, a little Muslim brother, and I thought he was very sweet and very respectful, of course. I did have a whole lot of secondhand embarrassment with Joe and the guys being way more immature than he was. He was only 24, but yet he was way more mature than them. And it was a little embarrassing for real, like especially when Joe asked him about the hoes. And I'm like, are you unfamiliar with the fruits of Islam? Like, do you really not know that they are brought up to respect women and the sisters? They don't speak about sisters like that. Like, it was just so ridiculous that he doesn't know how to interview you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why he continues to have people up there and he doesn't know how to interview. For instance, you have the young guy up there, Sensei or whatever, and he's telling them how Charlemagne, now that was funny when he said Charlemagne, he said, I was just on the Breakfast Club, and they was looking like, what the heck? But it was funny. He was like, oh, is there beef? Should I not have said that? But he was saying how Charlemagne asked a really good question. Charlemagne asked a question about, what do you train first? Is it mind, body, spirit, that sort of thing? Nice, deep question. Everyone in the room, oh my God, that was a great question. That was a great question. And Mark was funny. He was like, yeah, they asked great questions over there because they knew it was getting under Joe's skin. And then we quickly leave that question to Joe saying, hey, who do you think you could beat up between such and such and so? And like, literally, that was all his questions. All of his questions were, who could you beat up? How could you get out of this room? How many people over here do you think you could beat up? Like, they were so juvenile. It was so ridiculous that it was just too much. So after we left, they brought Sasha in, and you guys, that guy who's a football player, was there. And they ended up talking about sports the entire time. Like, the rest of the time, for real. I was just so tuned out. And Sasha was there. And you know what? We're going to do this whole thing with Joe. We're going to try to do a little reverse psychology or whatever. If he wants to waste his money on Sasha just sitting there, not saying shit, then you know what? Go for it. Go for it. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Just have her sit there and make money. And you guys, we saw behind the scenes that she is usually there on time, whatever time that is. But she's usually sitting there when they start and they want her to come late and walk on. And I'm just like, girl, if you don't want better for yourself, if you want to sit up there and just be objectified, and they openly do that shit, and she just goes along with it, I swear if a yes woman pick me was a person, it would be named Sasha. And I really hate going in on her because for some reason, she just seems like a sweet girl. Like, I don't want to like really clown her, but she don't give a shit about how she looks, basically. And I just hate that for her as a woman. But again, I can't care more than she does. So we move. All right, you guys. Now we move on to episode 946, Hove Did. This is all about the Jay-Z concert at Yankee Stadium. And I say all about because technically it really was all about. I think they talked about it for a good 2 hours. I didn't mind, though. What I did mind was the fact that Ice wouldn't shut the fuck up. Sorry, had to get that out real quick. Ice would not shut the fuck up. Like, every time Joe was talking and trying to get in his bag and telling a story. And let me tell you, I don't care how much you don't like Joe, think he's a dick, he's a jerk and all that. When he's telling a story, I am captivated. I want to hear his story. He is a great storyteller. That we can give him. So to have Ice constantly jumping in and, oh, wait a minute, let me tell you this part. And I was just happy when he finally told him, don't interrupt me for that shit no more. Like, don't do it anymore. And I'm like, Jesus, yeah, what an idiot. Y'all, Ice, we move. So it starts off though with Flip. So before he says any sort of introduction or anything, we have Flip talking. And to myself, I was just like, oh, hell no. We are not starting the episode off with this dude. Like, no. And he wasn't funny, as usual, to me. I don't mind Flip. I am not clowning Flip, but Flip is hit or miss. And in the beginning, he was miss. But Joe took it very nicely. You know, he don't really like it when they go off script, even though they don't have a script. You just gotta kind of sense what Joe wants you to do. And Mona is the only one that called him out on that shit. I mean, Mark does it, but he does it in a condescending type of way. I guess the same way Joe, kind of chastises him. But we get to Flip, and Flip is talking about how much he watches people, you guys. And it's funny because in the comments, somebody was like, am I the only one noticing and thinking that it's weird that Flip says that he just sits there and watches people? And I noticed that a long time ago. Like, it's one thing that I like about him, actually, is that he's very observant, but the way he makes it sound is a little creepy, where he's like, I watched you, I sat back and I just watched you. And then the fact that him and Joe be taping people, they be recording people without them knowing, and that is not alleged. They have actually said that. I don't know, that's creepy to me. So they had somebody there at each concert each night. So Mark went to the first night. And it's interesting because Joe said that Mark texted him and let him know that there were women there. Like, yeah, Jay really brought the women out. And I'm like, oh, really? Are we talking about Mark, who doesn't see women, only sees his wife? Oh, okay. And like, they just be dry telling on each other. Because Joe also said that he made a joke about Flip, and he's like, yeah, anytime there's, something going on and there's some white girls outside, you can catch Flip outside with the little white girls. And I'm like, what? That is just not cool. These people are with people. So I don't know if he's telling or what the case may be, but maybe he was just making a joke because of that whole situation with Flip and the white girl that just happened. So I'll give him that one. And Flip takes it in stride. But yeah, so we have Mark talking about the first night, and he was going on and on and on. Then we have them talking about the second night, and that's when Joe went, and, he ended up having a hard time getting in at first. Then he got in, got a little section. We heard all about that. Then they all went to the third night, and we know that there was that huge issue with people getting in. And the show starting like 3 hours late. So we had to hear all about it. And again, Ice would not shut the fuck up. Like, Joe had to tell him, listen, we got other stuff we got to get to. Like, okay, enough of you talking about what happened outside with the poor people, which was funny, but he's ignorant. And then let's just get Ice out the way. So Ice had his girlfriend there, Cece, and we all know that she's pretty. She's too good for him. Not because she's pretty. Well, I won't say too good for him. I would just say, yeah, they're about what. She's young with a lot of kids, and he is unattractive with money. So there's that. But she had on some panties, some thong panties that said Ice. And she had these low rise, so they were actually showing. And what's funny is when I first saw the picture of her on Instagram with it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's funny. We all know that the ongoing joke was that, he was wearing the Fenty panties, and you could see, his panties when he bent down or whatever. So that was funny to me. But I was just like, hopefully, she just did it for the picture, and that's not actually how she wore it. But that's how she wore it. So I don't know about that. But again, she's young. He loves it. He always makes the comments about, yeah, I love it when my baby post half naked. Go ahead and look at my baby. I'm like, yeah, because she's a pretty girl, and you would not have her in reality because you are a troll. It's not nice. But you guys, I don't give a fuck about Ice, because Ice don't like chocolate women, number one. And Ice likes super tiny women, and he's big as shit. So, like, everything that he likes is exactly what he isn't. So it's crazy to me. So Ice can fuck off. So we move. We move from that. And I'm not that mad. I'm not that mad. I know I sounded a little mad, but I'm not that mad. So we move on to Ish. Ish said that he was not invited. They asked if he got the invite. He said no. And Joe did not say that he did invite him. That was interesting to me, you guys. I don't know if now that we know the white girl, as Joe calls her, that white lady, ain't really fucking with Joe, if now Joe ain't really fucking with her. So maybe he didn't extend the offer, or maybe he just felt like Ish was supposed to get with him. He knew he was getting the box. I don't know. But we also know that Ish likes Drake. Now, does Ish have an actual relationship with Drake? I don't know. I don't know. I just know that he's a Drake fan. I don't know that he really took sides, especially with Drake and Jay-Z. Like, we know that Ish is a whole Avenger. So, yeah. But unlike Maul, let's move to Maul and the fact that, Messy Ice was like, yeah, I feel sorry for the people who took sides and had to miss out or whatever, knowing that they wanted to be there. And I'm like, just say Maul. Just say Maul, you little punk. So, yeah, Maul's dumbass really did choose a side. He ended up saying a while ago that, if he had to choose sides between Drake and Hove, he would choose Drake, which was some dumb shit to say. And then Biggs is your brother. Like, seriously? So, no, you could not go. Like, you could not go. Well, I can't say he couldn't go, but why would he go? And if Jay heard him, why would he want you there? So, no, he wasn't there. Apparently, Rory was there because Joe made the comment that some women, I guess, were there or something happened. No, he wanted to clown on Slick Rick. Was it Slick Rick? I think Slick Rick or something. And he was like, I had to tell somebody. So he texted Rory because Rory was there. So I guess him and Rory super cool again. I don't know. But yeah, so then we have Ack. So they were saying that I guess Ack maybe would have liked to have gone, but he chose sides. I don't know. Does Ack really like Jay-Z? I don't give a shit about Ack, you guys. And they did talk about the sit down with him and Charlamagne, which once again, I don't care because I don't care about Ack. Let me see what else they spoke about. Can we just talk about the concert for 1 second? Because every clip I saw of the concert, I got my life. I got my entire life. I love Jay-Z, you guys. I'm a whole Avenger. Yes, I am. And part of the Beehive. So yes, when B was out there singing, loved it. And oh my God, when Baby Blue was out there playing the piano, when I tell you I teared up, I really did tear up. It was so sweet. And all I could think about whenever I see Blue now shining and looking amazing and looking exactly like both her mother and father is the fact that people clowned her when she was a baby and people had so much to say about this baby. And now she is shitting on him, like just shitting on him. Do it, Baby Blue. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up with two quick things. Ish was taking a beating in the Patreon comments today. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember. But he was taking a beating. I don't know why people are so mad at Ish. They just wanted him to shut the fuck up because he didn't go. And he kept interrupting. Well, not really interrupting, but he would speak on different things or whatever. I guess maybe from clips he saw. And people wanted him to shut up. And when I say they were going in, they were going in. The last thing, let's talk about Dame Dash, you guys. When I say there's no bigger loser, there is no bigger loser. If you would have told us back in 1990, whatever it was, that he was going to end up like this when he's running around the Rockefeller or whatever it was, and he's all in the boardroom being a dick to people and screaming at people like he's really running stuff. If you would have told me that this man would be sitting there doing nothing but obsessing over Jay-Z in his life, I would have never believed you. But that is exactly where we are, and he's dumb as shit, you guys. But when I tell you I was dying laughing at that clip of him sitting there saying, and he just, always talking about Beyonce, and you gonna sit there and let her cut your hair or whatever. Okay, you got Beyonce touching you. Okay, and you gonna sit there and get your hair cut. Ain't even no mirror around. When he said wasn't no mirror around, I died. Because what are you talking about? Ain't even no mirror. We know you married to Beyonce. You know what? It just looked cringy. It was just so cringe. First of all, he kept saying the word cringe, and nothing about it was cringy. It's just like, dude, now you are upset because he married. Like, this man is unreal, but he is so sad. He's sad. And Jay is just not thinking about him, and he is making himself look so sad. But we do, people do stuff to themselves, and all you can do is wish them well and let them go on about their day. And apparently that is what Jay is doing. And then we had people saying that, Kanye should have been there and that would have been great. No, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't have. Because as much as I used to love Kanye, Kanye can fuck off. As soon as he said something about their kids and called one of their kids, their son, retarded or whatever. No, Kanye never, I don't think he will ever forgive Kanye for that. And I don't blame him. You don't talk about the kids. Don't play with the kids. So that's it, you guys. I think that's all I got. And that's all that really happened. I can't think of anything else except for the fact that Flip and Mark really don't like each other. They had a little back and forth that really went undetected when Joe asked Mark, when do you think that, physical violence should happen? And Flip made a joke real quiet. He was just like, oh, when he got that cup in his hand. And then Mark said, or when he's trying to make a joke and go too far. And then Joe, I know, heard it and just kept going. And I was like, damn, they cutting each other real quick and under their breath. It's crazy. So yeah, that blow up is probably going to happen at some point, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. But all right, you guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the beautiful people family. You guys like the video? It helps to push it out. I would appreciate it. And we are trying to get our numbers up. So please subscribe. Please do. If you're still here, you're the real MVP, and I appreciate you more than you know. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Smooches.